I've stayed at hundreds of hotels over the years, and I've never seen one this bad. This is a new low. Certainly the worst hotel I've ever seen thus far. So if you're driving through Virginia right now and you see this building and looking for a nice place to stay, just keep driving. So today I'm in Sandston, Virginia, and you're looking at the Dominion Inn and Suites. The craziest part about this hotel is it's got pretty good reviews on Hotels.com. Generally, I try to avoid hotels that have bad user scores, and this is currently sitting at a 5.6 out of 10, so you expect basically an average hotel. But as soon as you walk in the front door of the hotel room, it looks like you're entering like a slasher film. It's like being cosplaying like one of those Chainsaw Massacre films, because there was only one lamp in the room that actually worked. Over half the light bulbs in the room were missing and presumably stolen, and the ones that were in place, most of them were burned out. You had a bunch of charred cigarette butts in the carpeting, and you could see where there was fire damage in the carpeting, and you had like trim pieces falling off the walls and holes in the walls and condoms that had been used sitting inside the bed. You could hear the building creaking and groaning like it was about to collapse. They had pushed a bunch of like local tourist attraction brochures in front of one of the elevators to kind of hide the fact that it probably would kill you and is dangerous. The stairwell itself was dark with a bunch of burned out bulbs. I mean, it looked straight out of one of those rape episodes from Law and Order SVU. It's downright sad. I'll watch, other YouTubers like The Proper People, Urban Exploring. They'll go and look at like a hotel that's been abandoned for like 5 years, and a lot of them are in better shape than this one that's still open for business. I mean, there was a bunch of mold growing underneath the sink in the bathroom. It was not the bad black mold, but the green mold. But it's still mold. I can't imagine how that's a good thing to breathe in. The room, I just had the fan going the entire time on the air conditioning, just because it just was so musty and smelly in there. And it just, like I said, this is the worst hotel I've ever seen. I've stayed in hundreds of hotels. I've never seen anything like it. And I can't understand how this thing has positive reviews on hotels. Like a rating of 5.6 out of 10, with 10 being the best. I mean, it's slightly better than average based on user ratings. And look at the video. This place is a mess. This particular trip, I was actually driving a Uhaul, and I needed something that had a big parking lot for, a 26-foot long box truck. But holy crap, I had no idea what I was getting into on this one. This was definitely the shortest stop. And I got the hell out of Virginia and kept going on the highway as soon as I could. I'm someone who generally tries to avoid negative reviews too. I don't like, damaging another business owner's livelihood, but they're not even trying to maintain this place. And they're clearly not cleaning the linens in between guests in the hotel rooms either, because there's no way you can wash the sheets and then have used condoms in the sheets after you make the bed. The housekeeping maid service, they're just going in there, making the beds, maybe vacuuming with a dustbuster, and then taking off. I mean, the level of maintenance is atrocious. And I'm serious, that elevator, I only rode it the one time. It is sketchy as hell. It's inevitable that it's going to fall down and kill somebody one of these days, because I don't know how these things pass inspection. This is the first hotel review. I'm not even going to bother telling you what amenities are here, because I didn't care. You just need to avoid this place at all costs. So what's my bottom line score for this place? I was going to give it a 1 out of 10, with 10 being the best, but I think that's still too high. This is my first 0 score, 0 out of 10. It's the absolute worst. And I'd also say, hey, the state of Virginia should probably take a look at this place and condemn the building, just because of all the sketchy stuff, especially the electrical, with the wires hanging out of the walls and everything else, and the leaky pipes, and the elevator that makes banging noises, and the pipes that are leaking water everywhere, and there's moisture in the elevator, and I don't even know how you get water in the elevator, but there's something leaking above the elevator that's throwing water on the floor. I just don't understand how they can stay open. You know, there seems to be like crazy amounts of code violations here. They're not repairing any of them. If there's anything I've learned from seeing that building in Surfside collapse, it's that lots of moisture and water have a tendency to bring buildings down, and if this building falls down tomorrow, it would not surprise me one bit. So that's my recommendation. Whatever you do, never stay at the Dominion Inn and Suites located in Virginia, because you might not survive the experience. Thanks for joining me on this hotel review of the Dominion Inn and Suites. If you enjoyed this vlog of the Adventure Schmuck, don't forget to like and subscribe.